So I read a book that was YA dystopian and I adored it. You've probably already seen the title and the thumbnail, so you know which book I'm talking about, and that is Naughts and Crosses by British author Malorie Blackman. This is the first in a 6-book YA series, the first of which, Naughts and Crosses, I'm going to review today and was published in 2001. So I want to start by saying usually I really don't get on with YA books, and so I went into this a little bit trepidatious, but I thought I would give it a go, and it was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So within this book, this is all spoiler free, FYI, we are in a sort of alternate history situation where basically Africa conquered Europe rather than the other way around, and so the dominant class, the dominant social class are black, and the sort of underclass, the lower class, are white. And this is taking place relatively soon after the abolition of slavery, where whites were enslaved by blacks. So it's just completely turned the race situation on its head, and I think this is a really clever way for Blackman to show racism, especially to white children or white teenagers, to sort of flip this on its head and say, well, actually, if you were treated like this, how would you feel? And she did it masterfully. She did not hold her punches. She was brutal, and so this really is for probably kids 14 and up, I would say. In her approach to it, she talked about how kids are treated differently in class, by teachers, by people of authority, how the lack of opportunities then push people into situations where they have no other option but to turn to crime and violence. And in order to do that, she used a dual narrative, the narrative of Callum and Seffi. So Callum is a young Naught boy, Naughts are white, and Seffi is a cross girl, and crosses are black. And these two young people, teenagers at the beginning, but we do see them grow sort of, well, they're still teenagers, but from about the age of 12 to about the age of 19, we see what happens to their friendship. So they become friends because Callum's mother works sort of as a housemaid cum nanny for Seffi's mother. And so these two kids just play together all the time in their childhood. Then Seffi's mother is fired, and though the families go their separate ways, Seffi and Callum maintain their friendship. And we very much see both sides of this. We see Seffi trying to be an ally, but not really understanding what racism is and the effect that that has. And then we see Callum, who wants to be friends with Seffi, but is very much discouraged from that by his family. His family worry for his safety, etc., etc. This book gets dark. I'm not going to say anything about the plot outside of those parameters, but I was surprised at how dark it got. The ending was not what I expected, and I am desperate now to pick up the second in the series. What I think I really liked about this book was that within this dual narrative, Blackman really did explore a plethora of topics in and around race, from mental health, suicides, violence, education. She covered so much without it seeming like she was trying to cover all of these things. So I am intrigued to see if she can maintain this level of, quite frankly, excellence in her writing in book 2. And if you think YA is not for you, this is the book you should try, because it blew my socks off and I cannot recommend it highly enough.